I don't even quite know where to start, but 2024 has really, the inner child is not staying put. So I think a lot of times I have been suppressing myself slash avoiding going deeper to seek the deeper meaning of things. And the main thing is like usually when I come home, I'm trying to avoid by like keeping busy, cooking, cleaning, um, eating, snacking on things, mindlessly scrolling and watching, Netflix and shows and that's because I want to rest. I worked all day or I feel like I worked hard and so I just want to kind of ignore some of the minor things that start building up inside of me and this year she's not having it. Um the inner child Sheila's and even like some current adult versions of Sheila is not having it. She is not being suppressed this year. She is not staying quiet. And what I mean by that is that I used to be able to just numb myself and like suppress the emotion and then deal at it later. Like when it really explodes, I'll come up and kind of like meditate and go through it. But it's only January and I feel like week after week after week I'm being triggered and I'm trying to suppress it and then she is coming out. She's like, "Nope, I'm not staying quiet anymore. I've been quiet long enough and we're going to start addressing these things." And so like I am consistently being triggered by like different things, different aspects in my life and having to go in and process them. Um some of them I feel like I'm pretty content with the way that I've handled it and healed it. And some of them still kind of left a little open. Maybe I didn't get to the core wounding of it, but just some of the surface level areas of it, which is better than just suppressing, period. But this weekend, a really big theme came up where my partner was mirroring back to me again places that I need more healing and to focus on, basically. So we in our partnership, he does like most of the talking. He talks a lot. He fills the air. He fills the space. He takes up the space, and I kind of just allow him to. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. What I realize is the thought process is more like, well, whatever I have to say isn't important anyway because when I share things, he has the tendency to be ready to jump to the next subject or like be bored with it. Like I could just feel by his energy or by the way that he corresponds with me during that conversation that he's bored with it and he doesn't want to talk about it, and I kind of just let it go and then we go talk about his next thing. And I'm just really realizing that now as I'm processing all of the memories and emotions that I'm going through. And what really came of this is that that's how it was in my family. So when my dad spoke, he was speaking. You didn't really have the right to speak because you were a child, and you probably don't know better. Don't know better. What I say goes, and I have the authority. I have the floor always, and because that's kind of how me and my family grew up. We just allowed my parents to say whatever they wanted to say, and we just wanted them to just hurry up and say it so that we didn't have to sit there in that uncomfortable conversation. The dynamics was the same. I was basically replaying that role in my relationship of allowing the male presence to have authority and to just take up space, and for me to shrink myself and to like I don't matter is like the main thing. Back to like the worthiness piece, which came up in my last QHHG session that was done on me too, is that the worthiness piece. Like I'm not even worthy of speaking up. I'm not even worthy of sharing my thoughts. I'm not even worthy of taking up the space. And so I just stay quiet and I just people please and I just allow whoever is there to take up the space. And it's been a lot of times my dad and my partner. And so and I didn't know this at the time, but yesterday I was, there had been a lot over the weekend where I was trying to share something and my partner kept trying to cut me off. He didn't let me finish. He jumped to conclusion. He started, well, based on what you said, this. And I'm like, I didn't even want to talk about that. And you didn't even allow me to finish. All I was asking was a question about this. And so he had cut me off one too many times this weekend. And The inner one was like, no, this is enough. You're not going to be suppressing yourself. You're not going to be people pleasing anymore. It's time for us to overcome it. So after, day 3 of the weekend, I had a kind of like a 3-day weekend. I like something triggered me and I blew up, and I couldn't be in his presence, and I was very short, very unemotionally regulated, and I could tell. I mean, I was aware that I was doing that, but I was just so hurt, and I just wanted to allow myself to just go lower for a moment. And so I did. I went lower. I really focused on me. I really took up the space, even though it was not a good way. It wasn't a kind way of taking up space, and I was like, I didn't want to deal with it. I had worked all weekend, and I just wanted to suppress it and just numb myself by watching TV. But he kept coming up and trying to talk about the problem. I kept trying to suppress it. I told him to go away finally before I went to bed. I was like, I'll just journal instead of meditate. So, um, what is this all tying back to? Oh, yeah. Like she wasn't being suppressed. She was like, no, not today, not again, not, I don't know, maybe not ever this year. I don't know. The inner me's are not, they're not playing this year. They're just like, we're coming out. You're ready to deal with this, and you have the tools, and we're going to just keep coming. Boom, 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 week after week after week after week. It's something different, I swear. And yeah, it's beautiful, but it's so annoying because now I have to leave my comfort zone. I have to really, I mean, I've been slowly learning and growing, and so that's why I feel like, okay, I can take breaks, I can take it easy, but I don't think that's what they don't want it. They want to keep coming out and keep healing and going quicker, quicker, more, faster. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I was seeing. My partner was mirroring back to me how I was disempowering myself, if that's even a word, how I wasn't being empowered. I wasn't speaking up for myself, and I was not allowing myself to take up space. And that it's time to stop people pleasing and to let your voice be heard, even if you are wrong or afraid of being wrong. Like in that moment, if you feel that way, say you feel that way. If in that moment you believe that it was like this, then just say it like that. And you can always change your mind after the fact. Like, hey, yeah, I said that and I did feel like that at that time, but now after I've processed it, I feel a little differently. And that's okay to say, as long as we're communicating with each other, with our partners, in our relationships. I think that we reserve the right to kind of feel a certain way and then process that and then share.